Army worried. Taehyung suffers shoulder injury, Jungkook can't hide his concern. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Before we dive deep into what really happened, why it has Army worried, and how Jungkook's reaction is sparking emotional discussions across the fandom, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss our deep dives into the most important, heart-stirring moments in BTS history. Because what you're about to hear might make you look at last night's performance in a completely different way. The moment unfolded during what should have been one of the most electrifying parts of the concert. Taehyung, dressed in his signature dark velvet jacket, was delivering his lines with that soulful, deep voice Army knows so well. His expressions were flawless, his presence magnetic. But the camera didn't lie. If you looked closely, his right arm moved with just a fraction less freedom than usual. It's not the first time a BTS member has pushed through pain for the sake of the stage. The group's history is lined with moments of resilience, Suga performing after shoulder surgery, Jimin dancing through an ankle injury, Jungkook singing with a cast on his foot. They've always embodied the phrase, "the show must go on." But the difference this time was the raw, unguarded concern written all over Jungkook's face. Fans in the front rows caught it in real time. During a brief instrumental break, Jungkook subtly shifted closer to Taehyung, almost like he was positioning himself as a shield. His eyes flicked to Taehyung's shoulder, then to his face, as if silently asking, "Are you okay?" Taehyung, ever the professional, gave the smallest nod, the kind you give when you don't want to worry someone. But that didn't stop Jungkook from keeping an almost invisible watch for the rest of the set. By the end of the night, clips of this silent exchange were everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, fan forums. People were pausing frames, zooming in, dissecting body language. It wasn't just the injury that had Army talking, it was the unspoken bond between these two members that seemed to radiate off the stage. But how serious could this shoulder injury be? For anyone who's ever studied sports medicine or dance physiology, the shoulder is one of the most complex joints in the body. Its range of motion is huge, which also makes it fragile. A strain or even a mild tear can take weeks, sometimes months, to heal, and the constant physical demands of BTS choreography don't exactly make recovery easy. Some fans immediately speculated it could be a flare-up of an old injury. After all, performing on multiple tours, rehearsing endlessly, and filming back-to-back projects leaves little room for complete rest. Others wondered if this was something new, perhaps a result of recent intense dance practices or filming for an upcoming project. But then there's the human element. Injuries aren't just physical, they're emotional. For someone like Taehyung, whose artistry is expressed not only through his voice but through his full-body performance, feeling limited, even slightly, can be frustrating. That's why Jungkook's reaction hit Army so hard. It wasn't the kind of concern you can fake. It was instinctive, almost protective. One fan described it perfectly in a tweet that gained thousands of likes: Jungkook didn't just notice, he adapted. He adjusted his own movements to match Tae's pace without making it obvious. That's love. That's brotherhood. The dynamic between Taehyung and Jungkook has always fascinated fans. From their early trainee days, when they were just teenagers chasing a dream, to the global stages they now dominate, they've built a bond that feels both playful and profoundly deep. We've seen them tease each other mercilessly, share quiet moments backstage, and lean on each other during tough times. But moments like this remind us that their connection isn't just for the cameras. As the night wore on, some fans noticed that Taehyung subtly modified a few dance moves. Instead of sharp, full-arm gestures, he kept some movements closer to his body. It was the kind of adjustment only the most observant viewers would catch, and Army is nothing if not observant. In the middle of one particularly energetic number, Jungkook even seemed to angle himself so he could help Taehyung down from a stage riser, all without breaking rhythm. What's striking about this is how seamless it all looked. If you didn't know, you wouldn't guess anything was wrong. That's the hallmark of world-class performers, making every adjustment look intentional, like it was part of the plan all along. But for those who did know, or who suspected, it made every smile, every step, every note feel layered with extra meaning. In the hours after the concert, fans began piecing together past moments where Taehyung had mentioned feeling sore or tired in recent interviews. Was this the same issue resurfacing? Or was it something entirely new? HYB hasn't released an official statement yet, which only fuels speculation. Some are urging the company to let him rest, while others are cautiously optimistic, hoping it's just a minor strain. But beyond the speculation, there's an emotional undercurrent that's hard to ignore. BTS has always been about more than music. They're a living testament to teamwork, sacrifice, and genuine care for one another. Watching JUNGKOOK'S quiet vigilance over Taehyung last night felt like witnessing that ethos in action. And then there's the question that lingers in the back of every ARMY's mind: if Taehyung's shoulder is more serious than it appears, what does that mean for upcoming schedules? There are appearances, recordings, and possibly even comeback stages on the horizon. BTS is a finely tuned machine, but it's also made of human beings, ones who sometimes need to step back to heal. The final moments of the concert only deepened the emotional impact. During the encore, when the members usually roam freely across the stage, Jungkook stayed closer to Taehyung than usual. At one point, when Taehyung lifted his arm to wave at the crowd, Jungkook subtly stepped in to take over some of the interaction, drawing fans' attention while Tae rested his shoulder. It was small, maybe even unnoticed by the majority. But to those watching closely, it said everything. And this is where the story becomes more than just a concert detail. It becomes a reminder of why millions around the world connect so deeply with BTS. When the lights dimmed and the final notes faded into the roar of the crowd, the members gathered for their customary closing ments. Each took turns speaking, their voices laced with the mix of adrenaline and exhaustion that follows every BTS concert. Taehyung's turn came last. He held the mic in his left hand, his right arm resting loosely at his side. His tone was warm, sincere, thanking ARMY for their energy, for braving the weather, for filling the stadium with light. As the stadium emptied and the night gave way to the quiet hum of the city, one image lingered in the minds of those who were there: Taehyung, shoulder slightly stiff, smiling at the crowd as if nothing was wrong. And Jungkook, just a step away, watching him with the kind of attention you can't fake. Maybe that's why this moment feels so unforgettable. It's not about the injury alone, it's about what it revealed. That under the bright lights, behind the flawless performances, BTS is still, at its core, a group of people who refuse to let each other fall. And for ARMY, that's worth more than any perfect choreography.